Hello, my name is the Warship and I'm a Streamaholic.
Hello, I'm Natty WW and I'm a Streamaholic. Good to see you, the Warship.
It's very good to see you too. We're supposed to roll the intro after that. I think that's the second time in a row that I've botched that, but that's fine. It
Look,
doesn't matter.
I think it's better than last week.
Yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. I don't know why I'm in
1%
charge.
gains every time.
I don't know why I'm in charge. It makes no sense, but this is how it is. This is how it is, so that's fine. But my goodness, what a week it's been.
Huge
Um,
week.
what a massive week it's been for the streaming community in general. There's a lot to talk about. A great deal to talk about. Yeah, how's your week been? Have you had a good week?
It has been a very good week. A few major projects I'm working on have been delayed, which is lovely. So I now have a reasonable amount of time to finish things.
Hey,
Yay!
that's good at least. I mean, not so much the delay part, but the rest, that's good.
Yes.
Um,
How about yourself?
yeah, it's been good. It's been a decent week this week. Honestly, we've been up and down lately, as we've spoke about, but we've had a pretty good week as far as streams have gone. We played a bunch of fun games last night, and it kind of really refreshed me. So we went from playing a game called Passepartout, which is like the starving artist. It's a
Oh,
art
I
game.
love that game.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw it's got an update, or is that a second
The
version of
second
it?
one's coming out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got the best ending. We played it first the way through. We got the money ending straight off the bat, so that was nice. And
Woo!
because yeah, we were drawing lots of stuff, and it was fun. Like the drawings were really cool. Everyone really enjoyed what we were doing, so it
Oh
was
my goodness,
nice.
and you're actually an artist, so that game would be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, well, but then we got told to do like Pickle Rick and Henry Stickmin, and a bunch of stuff like that. So it was
Yeah,
fine. Um,
look, if the critics like it, that's all that matters, right?
exactly right, exactly right. So in the end, it was a good time, and then we moved on to a much harder game. We moved on to Such Art, the one that's actually supposed to be for artists. That
Ugh.
one, it requires a lot more actual like skill. So rather than using shapes and all that kind of stuff, it focuses on things like you have a paintbrush that paints a certain way, and then you have a different paintbrush that paints another way, and it's all angles, and you have to move up and down and left to right, and yeah, it's a lot more difficult than just making big circles and then putting shapes inside of them. But that was really good fun too. So I think we're going to have to play that more, and
Alright.
yeah, I was honestly just fun to get a little bit of creativity out there. And when it comes to Twitch as an example, we'll probably be doing a little bit more of that because Twitch has just announced that we get a whole bunch of new emotes. So I've already got all my emotes covered because I had some wonderfully generous people to begin with on my streams. And I've already completed all 5 that you need to get, all the 5 requirements to get all the separate emotes. But now all affiliates get them. So
Oh,
that
that's
came out
exciting.
today. Yeah, everybody who's an affiliate now gets access to 5 emotes right off the bat, as well as 1 animated emote. So
Ooh. What's
yeah.
your animated emote? Do you have one
Oh, I
yet?
don't know. No, I haven't worked on it yet because I've got this weekend flagged for it. But I'm definitely gonna have to get some feedback from the community to see what they want to be the one animated emote, and go from there. Because now I've got so many more ridiculous redemptions than I have ever wanted. And there's already so much animation on my stream now. Having it in the chat's going to make it ridiculous as well. So
Hectic.
I might have to green screen myself doing something stupid that's a bit of a meme, and then just do it that way. Um, like the cat doing the thing,
Oh, yeah.
something like that, something stupid like that. But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out at the end of the day. It's just cool because that's usually exclusive to partners only. But now,
Mm.
normal partners obviously get more, but affiliates get one. So that's really good news for anyone who's sort of wants to snazz up their stream a bit. And on top of that, you already get an extra. I think you get 5 follower emotes as well that you can use on follower channels now too. So you should have a whole bunch of emotes for everyone who comes into stream. So
That's awesome. Do
yeah.
you think there was a reason why they did that? Are they trying to just, bump up a bit of positive sentiment for Twitch?
Yeah, I think honestly at the moment we probably need a win or two
Yeah.
as far as Twitch goes. So I think it's probably within the realm of possibility that they're just trying to provide little wins here and there now,
Mm.
especially because things are so bleak. and
Mm.
it's very much so unknown territory for a lot of people when it comes to streams at the moment. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the whole reason they did it was just to make it a little bit better for everyone who's on the platform now. But yeah, big week of news. In particular, probably the biggest thing has been the Streamlabs controversy. So
Yeah, this has just been huge, and even people I know that aren't into gaming or streaming are just like, "Oh, I saw something come up about stream something something. You can tell me about this, can't you?" I'm like, "What?"
yeah, it's the meme, actually, honestly, the meme that you should make if you do get back into doing it, and you should make the animated meme for yourself. You know, the
Oh,
picture of
yes.
the lady who's like the what, and it's like, and then it shows like the zoom in. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
You can just film
Yes,
that and do
we
that.
can do that. I always thought I pulled off the, creepy girlfriend, big eye
Oh,
look
yeah,
as
good,
well.
good. But yeah, no, yeah. So as far as like, I'm just grabbing my notes. I had to restart my whole computer before. As far as everything goes, it's just a mess. We have long standing had a back and forth here on Streamaholics as far as my personal opinions as it relates to Streamlabs OBS, because for me, things like price gouging, having a
Mm.
system where you want to sign up for all the benefits in an easy way. You look at Streamlabs and you're like, cool, this thing is easy. It's so cool to integrate. I can use, whatever I want with, it's so much simpler than OBS. OBS looks like it's so much harder to look at when you first visually see it.
Yeah.
So when you first sign up and you kind of pick which one you want, one of the big problems, which we'll discuss as we go on, is if you type OBS into Google, the first result that comes up is Streamlabs
Pretty much.
OBS.
Yeah.
And you think you've got the right thing. You think you've got what everyone tells you to go and get, and then you play with it, and it's not. And yeah, like we've always had the big discussion about the fact that so much of their systems are hidden behind their Prime wall. And their Prime
Mm.
wall is like $19 or something ridiculous a month.
Mm.
If you're a creator that's only if you're not even making your threshold, like many don't, I think it's something like 70% or 80% of creators don't even make their threshold every month. It's something ridiculously high. So if you're not even making enough, like for the $100 to get paid by Twitch, you don't want to be paying $20 on top of that every month. And even me,
Yeah.
who makes in excess of that, I still don't want to pay $19 a month for these things. Like, they're things that I can source from other resources just as easily, including Stream Elements. There are so many ways to get this, but if you're not educated enough, you won't see that correlation, and you'll end up spending money, wasting money. And I've had a lot of problems with them since day dot. When I first started using it, it was great, and then it became garbage.
I've seen a lot of people compare the Streamlabs and the OBS to the iPhone and the Android.
Yeah.
So you get everything out of the box you need with Streamlabs, but you pay more.
Oh yeah.
Whether with OBS, you can make it your own, go free range, and it doesn't cost you any extra.
Honestly, the absolute facts. It's like, you've got your Android that does everything you like. It takes a little bit more to figure out how to use it. But, the iPhone doesn't even have a headphone jack. Like,
Yeah.
and you have to buy a stupid, completely different charger every time you use the thing. Like, it's ridiculous. And who uses the thing like this? Remember that one, the charger that was like this long?
Oh, the little extension cable, yeah.
Nothing else in the world use that at all. And then we're supposed to just get it just because they said so. And it was the same with like the pods as well. But yeah, that's getting onto a whole different, just as angry topic. When it comes to this, it's like, you're absolutely right, because like, it's the same software with peripherals that make your life easier, but you have to pay for them. Like, I've got a list here. I guess what we do, we need to probably explain it for the people who aren't even around what I'm actually speaking about here. Did you want to talk, or would you like me to speak?
No, you jump in. You are the expert here.
Okay,
I'll just chime in every now and again.
Essentially, Streamlabs Well, OBS was the open broadcasting system is open source, so anyone can use it. You can do what you want with it. The source is readily available for anyone who wants to muck around with it, and it always has been. And essentially, Streamlabs shows up a little while later after OBS is the standard, and they're like, "Hey, so." We're going to do our own thing and make our own version of you. Is it all right if we use OBS in the name? And Stream Elements is like, no, don't do that, please. Nope. And they said, well, you know what? We're doing it anyway. And not only that, but we're going to go and copyright it ourselves. We're going to go get a patent for it. And it's going to be called Streamlabs OBS. And not just that, but we're going to go to Google and we're going to make sure the analytics show Streamlabs OBS above OBS for everything. And even the way that it shows up in Google is very this is the one that you should be using. It's front place, the prime center. Harris Heller covered a video, a pretty in-depth video on all of this stuff as well. I did watch that in accordance with everything else that all the other research we've done today. And there are so many good points that were brought up as part of that. Like the SEO side of things on Google, I didn't even see that before. I didn't even think of that. But it's true. The first time you ever click up looking for OBS, the first thing you look at is Streamlabs OBS. And it's the very first thing. Essentially they took the open source software, which you're allowed to do. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's open source, which means you can have it if you really, really want it. And they put their own bells and whistles on it, pretty much the same bells and whistles, just made things a little bit easier. And then they consolidated a bunch of stuff that was free into their package and then made it cost money. So they took, for one, like Stream Deck, Elgato, they were pretty much the first people they burned, or one of the first people they burned. So what happened is Elgato has the Stream Deck. Literally everybody who streams has one. It's here. I can't move this thick cable anymore, otherwise everything will fall over. But it's here. Everyone has them. I know people who have multiples of them all over. We all use it. It's how I do the haha funny. It's how all the memes work. And then not only did they take the whole concept a couple of years later, but they called it the same thing. So, the Streamlabs Stream Deck is the name of it. It's an app that you pay for on the Android store and all of that kind of stuff, and also Apple as well. But yeah, so there's that. It's exactly the same thing. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem with that is obviously naming it the exact same thing. So again, you're in the exact same situation where they've stolen something and they've rebranded it as their own thing, and then they've put it prime center for everyone to see. So the first thing you search for, and when you look for a Stream Deck, is Streamlabs Stream Deck. Now, they've since changed that under controversy to just call the Streamlabs Deck, but still, if you get typing the word Stream Deck into anything, it's going to show up. So that was the big one. There's also Combo. So there is a integration within Streamlabs Prime called Crossclip, I think it's called, and it does everything that Combo does. So what Combo is it's a free service online that allows you to clip your videos and turn your clips into shorts for things like TikTok or YouTube Shorts. Awesome. It allows you to adjust things, change the sizes, add text, aspect ratio, the whole deal. I think it even allows you to add subtitles and stuff. Essentially, everything that you can do in Combo, Crossclip can do as well. On top of that, there's Multistream, which for anyone who has Multistream before, there's a thing called Restream.io, which allows you to multi-stream. It's the exact same technology, except it's behind the Streamlabs Prime paywall. There's Panel Maker, which is from Nerd or Die. Nerd or Die it's pretty much exactly the same software. Again, I'm going to be saying those words over and over again. Pretty much the same software, because Panel Maker is the same thing. So Panel Maker allows you to take, if you look down below here, you'll see some pretty schmicky-doo looking panels. And it allows you to create those, essentially. Lets you put like little logos, about me, check me out, here's my donations, whatever it might be. It allows you to create those all within the system intrinsically. And, that's fine, but there already was something for it. And now you have to pay for it. And then on top of that, there's Willow is essentially Linktree, except paid for. So You know,
Oh my
Linktree,
god,
you
it's a tree name. It's the
yeah,
name
yeah,
of
it's the
a
name of a
tree.
tree. It's still a tree. Linktree, obviously, it costs money anyway. If you want to get the better version of it,
Yeah.
but from a
Yeah.
basics version, it's free. So, but no, it's not, because if you want to get Willow, the different kind of tree altogether, not a link tree, a different tree, then you have to pay for it. And then the last one is one called Oslo, which is based off of Frame.io. And as far as I'm aware, because I don't use Frame.io or Oslo, as far as I'm aware, what it is, you know, what's it called? OBS Ninja, the plugin that allows you to put people's chats up on the screen like we're doing now, except not through Discord. Essentially, Frame.io, as far as I can tell, is that. So it's a service that allows you to input your webcam onto onto the internet, and then the internet, you can then take it off as a source and put it into your streams and whatnot. So that's there as well. And again, it's called Oslo. So they're like straight off the bat, without even thinking about it, that's 7 different integrations that came from a real place. And on top of that, the 8th one being OBS itself, that came from a real free place and then were transitioned behind a paywall. And that's not even touching the worst ones of it. The worst ones of it, that's all really bad. But then you have the big boy, which is Lightstream. Now, Lightstream's situation is actually ridiculous, because Lightstream is a service. It's a decent service. So it allows you to stream from your console without with your overlays, like your camera overlays, your chat, all that kind of stuff displaying like you would as if you were on a PC, except it allows you to do it without the need for a capture card, and it allows you to do it without the need of a buff computer. Like you can do it pretty much on like a shell of a computer, as long as you've got it all set up for it. It's fine. It's really, really decent software. It works quite well. Streamlabs launched Streamlabs Studio, which is the exact same thing. But not only did they copy the technology, but on the page, the website for Lightstream, there were customer reviews, there were pictures of the services provided, as well as information, and down to the reviews and the people's names attached to the reviews was a copy-paste. They literally took everything from the pictures and from the text and changed it to their own little Streamlabs version, but it was the same words. Like word for word, the same words. Streamlabs has since apologized, and they said, "Oh, it was placeholder text." But what that really tells us is that they legitimately stole it.
Is copyright.
Like, it's placeholder text because you Control C the website, and then you Control V it. Like it just proves that they stole it all. Because where else did it appear from? It's just a ridiculous scenario.
That's crazy. And I think the real key about this is it's not about 2 people having an idea and both developing it. It is one taking, copying entirely, and then claiming it as their own. And in the case of OBS, copywriting open source software.
Yeah.
Just boggles. Absolutely boggles.
It makes no sense. And honestly, one of the the big parts about it there is that if I asked the chat before today, do Streamlabs OBS and OBS have a working relationship? Like, was there something? Do they partners perhaps that just went separate ways? Was there ever a time where they worked together on it? I'm sure most people would say, yeah. Most people would say, OBS and Streamlabs, it's the same software. One looks a bit more schmicky-doo than the other one, but it's the same software. They must have a relationship. That's the general consensus, even to the point where there are some really successful streamers, really successful YouTubers who legitimately thought they were all the same product, because they've allowed us to feel that way. They've legitimately on purpose pulled the wool over the eyes of the whole community in a way to say, oh, no, that's the thing that that we worked on, that's ours. It's the same product. You should get our version of it, though. It's just really, really gross. And the hardest part about it is that this is content creation. This isn't we're not tradespeople who don't care about the internet. This is the internet. And on the internet, if you once, you're forever. Like, there's no two ways around that. Like, they have been caught firmly with their pants down. Like, there's no escape from that.
And this is 8 times with different pieces of software.
Easily just cited. I'm sure there's even more, like if you consider plugins, so you consider some of the plugins that because Streamlabs has a bunch of really cool shit that you can't do on OBS. Like there's a source record function that you can get with a plugin for OBS that Streamlabs has intrinsically in it. But I don't know, was that originally theirs? Who knows? Like, so there are so many other little things that they can do that you can't do. Like one of the major features I really like about piece of shit Streamlabs is that at the bottom of the screen, you can test your stuff. Like, you can test to make sure that your subscriber button's working, to make sure your follow button's working. That's not in OBS. Like you can't do that just from here. You have to go to the Stream Elements website and then you'd have to do it from there, emulate it from there. So if you're trying to test out new stuff, it's really, really difficult compared to Streamlabs. So there are a bunch of like really positive things that they've done, but who's to say they invented any of it? Who's to say that they that they didn't just pull it from someone else?
And we'll never know.
Well, we can't trust them now.
Creators come forward.
Like we're at a point now where we can't trust anything they say because they've stolen from everybody they've ever worked with.
And you kind of wonder, because obviously most of this is US based as well, so they would have a different system around patent and copyright and everything like this. But I was so shocked to hear that they were able to copyright the name Streamlabs OBS. Like, just how did somebody let them do that?
Because it's open source software, they never did it because they're not. It's not for.
It's open source.
It's open source. It's not owned by anyone. It's like Antarctica, because there's parts of Antarctica that aren't owned by anyone. It's literally like them just going up and being like, okay, well, this is mine. And it's like OBS has gone down and they've been like, okay, I'm going to claim this for OBS. And then Streamlabs has gone, but I'll go to the UN and the governments and I'll actually get that plot of land as mine. I'll own that. Even though you've been saying you've owned it this whole time, it doesn't matter because now I actually own it.
It just says the systems are all just fundamentally broken.
Exactly right. And as Flavor Fade says, being in America, you can copyright anything as long as it's not held by someone else. So the fact that nobody else has actually come in and registered OBS before means that they're fully within their legal rights to go and claim Streamlabs OBS. So not only did they steal software, but then they patented it because nobody else did, which is disgusting. It's disgusting. And
Kakarot. Makes me angry. Makes me really angry.
Honestly, there's no justification for it. Everybody who I know, all my friends, all of my homies use Streamlabs, and now they don't. So many of my friends use it, and I've been saying for ages, don't use it. Use Stream Elements, use OBS. Even the OBS Live plugin, which is a version of Stream Elements, it's a version of OBS that uses like a Stream Elements interface. That's what I use to play music on stream. That's what I use to look at my activity feed on stream. It's a much more user-friendly version of the software. That's just as accessible, just as easy to use. It's not green. Sorry, it's not green and dark green. Well, it's open source. I could open it if you like and make it green. It just doesn't. So many people use it because of the ease of function. And like I've said before, it's also like down to the merchandising store. The one that Streamlabs has is really, really good. You can get hats and shit. Like you can get a bunch of cool stuff you can't get on the Stream Elements one. The Stream Elements one has like a blanket and a hoodie and a couple of shirts, and that's it. Like it's very and a cup. Sorry, it's very, very basic. So there's always been an appeal because if you get the Prime version of Streamlabs, you can get like shoes made. Like it's like a purely, utterly ridiculous red bubble ass piece of shit. Like the way that it is, but it's appealing. If you don't know people in the industry, if you don't have a contact who can make you clothes or anything, like that, then you're in a situation where you really have nothing to worry about unless you're going through, like Redbubble or Designed by Humans, or one of those places. You don't really have any other options. So you look at you look at your Streamlabs, and you're like, oh, I'm already using it, so why not use the merch here as well? And then you look at the merch thing, you're like, I can make one basic shirt.
Yeah.
Shit. I guess now I'll pay for Prime and I'll get a snapback that no one will buy. And, and then not only, unfortunately, because, people will buy it, but then people won't buy it anymore, but you're still going to be paying $20 every time, so that's how they get you. And it's just rough. Like, it's just really, really bad.
And what we're talking about really is people being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
If purely due to all that analytics stuff that we were talking about. If you tell somebody, "Oh, go get OBS," and they type in OBS and see Streamlabs, they're going to just grab Streamlabs. Unless you say, "Not the green one."
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, and that's the thing is that they have set themselves up to be the people that you see first, even if it's completely wrong. And they've set themselves up to be the one that you go with because of how easy it is to use. But it's all built off the back of stolen technology. Like, it really is just the most disgusting thing I think I've seen. And,
oh, my God. Do you know what this is reminding me of?
Did
you watch the original Willy Wonka movie?
Oh, the real old one with, what's his face in it? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah. The
Somebody
one,
in chat will know.
Man, my brain. But yes, not Johnny Depp.
No.
Gene Wilder, that's his name.
Thank you. It just reminds me of like the evil other company that didn't end up existing.
Yeah.
That's like trying to steal the secret recipe, right?
Yeah.
It's like, let's go in the back end and steal it, Charlie. Let's do it.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like, except they're full on just taking it from their face. Like, there's no behind doors, closed doors or anything. It's like, hey, I'm taking it. It's the Krabby Patty secret formula. I'm actually just walking up and stealing it. Like, it's fine, and you can do nothing about it now, Mr. Krabs. And now I'm going to patent it, and I'm still going to call it the Krabby Patty. I'm going to call it the Streamlabs Krabby Patty, and it will be the best.
I found it really interesting that what came out was that OBS have been trying to appeal this. They've been trying to go to Streamlabs OBS and say, come on, guys, play fair. This isn't right.
Yeah.
Fix this, make this right. And they've just ignored them.
Yeah, well, they don't have to say anything. And this comes down to the culture, over there. They don't have to say a damn word. There's nothing that they need to say anything about. They can literally just say, nah, well, all conversations ceased. We own the patent. That's it. End of story. The only possible way that they'll be able to deal with that is if they decide to settle. And, why would they? Aside from public backlash, the only way
this is it, right?
Yeah.
Public backlash, everybody off Streamlabs.
Yeah. Don't use it anyway. I've been saying it for ages. It's shit. Don't use it. It's real shit. It's don't use it. Sure, it's appealing. It's got nice buttons. I will draw you a button in Passepartout if you want. Don't use it. Don't use it. Don't use it. You cannot be okay with this kind of plagiarism when they do it, and then get upset with Twitch's DMCA rules. You can't be upset when you can't refuse to be upset when someone steals someone's livelihood, their work, all this stuff. And because these people, these combo people, I'm sure they love their little ads. I'm sure they love getting their ads on their website. I'm sure they love people getting in touch and being all like, hey, we love what you do. Here's a sponsorship because you don't get paid for it. I'm sure they love that. That's all go. It gets halved the second you add something like Streamlabs into this conversation, and all of these businesses have copped it. OBS, I'm sure the people who create OBS, they would be getting something from people for this. If I was one of the developers for OBS and I went to Elgato and I'm like, hey, I literally made OBS, would you like to send me some stuff and I will do some stuff for you on our back end or whatever the case may be? 100% they'd be getting a kickback every month for that.
Or maybe they should Streamlabs should have done the honorable thing like Microsoft and Google and go and buy these people out.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
You want their tech, you buy them out.
Yeah. But they didn't. They just took the software and they just made it part of it. As far as I know, though, one of them, Frame.io, is actually owned by Adobe now. So, they've got the software and they've made their own version of it. But if they had have been, it could have been a lot worse.
Adobe, that's a big enemy to pick on.
Yeah. So, when that conversation starts to roll out a little bit more, I think that we might find that there'll be some traction. And like the apology that they wrote was just actual garbage. Like,
oh yeah, I can't remember what it was. That was like, oh yeah, sorry, not sorry. Like,
yeah.
it was just so bizarre.
And then the person underneath it with their version of it, which was just like, we got caught, like.
Yeah. Sorry, we got caught. Yeah.
What is it? So it says, we're taking immediate action to remove OBS from our name. Streamlabs OBS is built on top of the OBS platform. Streamlabs OBS is also open source and our code is publicly available. We take responsibility for our actions and we will support the community. So essentially they've said, oops, we got caught. And now they're like, oh no, so now we have to say something because the public backlash is going to be ridiculous for this. There's no way around it. Like I said before,
now we have huge market share from stealing OBS's name for years. Oh yeah, sorry, all right, we'll fix that now.
Yeah.
Far out.
Now you look here and you go down every single page. Like every tweet, every single one here, and it's like they did one for Streamlabs Studio, and now it's here. Now they stole this idea. Now you can delete the article. Lightstream's been doing this. You go down the whole thing, and every comment here on every post is just them getting dogged. Like every single one. There you go. Tweets that didn't age well for 400, please, Alex. Like it's like the whole situation now is just. Everything they say is them being dogged. And it's because they messed up real bad. They messed up real bad.
So what's the hashtag?
We got a what's it called? A Streamlabs is over party or something? Like, is that, I don't know.
Yeah, this is what we need. Spread it far and wide.
Streamlabs, let's see if there is something. Streamlabs OBS. No, there's not one. I'm so sad. Streamlabs is over party. Let's see if there's anything for that at all. Okay, finally, there's a little bit, not much. But yeah, no, it's honestly just ridiculous. So I'm like, there are a lot of little independent developers who have also come out too. So it's not even just those 8 that I mentioned, including OBS, but there are plenty of people who have come out and they've just said, look, this was my thing, and now it's not my thing anymore. It's just, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good at all.
They need to either settle with everybody and give them all a nice lovely cut or payday or something, or we riot. Yeah.
Like the every single word thing is ridiculous. I'll show you. I'll actually bring it up on stream here. Let's go to you for a second. And then we'll go where do we put you? We put you below here. And then we go, nope, that's the wrong screen to capture, stupid.
That's all right.
Display primary. Okay, here. I don't have many tabs open today, so it's okay. But level up your PlayStation and Xbox streams as opposed to level up your console streams. How does it work? All these are the same. All they're the same. Cloud capture for console streams. Cloud capture for console streams. And if you go can I zoom with this? Probably not, right? No, it zooms the background image. Great, useful. That's exactly what I want. Let's go open image.
It's almost like they've gone to somebody on Fiverr and they've been like, hey, can you just create a copy of this for $10?
Look at this. Light stream layers on your overlays automatically whenever you go live. Streamlabs Studio layers on your overlays automatically whenever you go live. Literally everywhere, it is the same.
That is just...
Lightstream is literally one of the greatest things I've ever discovered. Thank you for making it so much. Oh, thank you so much for making it easy. From Just Senso. And for Streamlabs Studio is literally one of the greatest things I've ever discovered. Thank you so much for making it easy. Love this platform. Love how they listen to their community. It's just ridiculous. There are times where they use slightly different wording because to work with their own systems. But the pictures, how the pictures display on the screen, all of this, it's all the same, all of it. and it makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
Like,
we need a big fat 0 out of 10 on that one.
Yeah, no, it's garbage, and like it's not changing either because like until the culture changes around these guys and people actually say, well, no, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to support it. They're going to get away with it. Like they've been getting away with it for such a long time now. Some of this stuff goes back as far as like 2016 or 2015, I think. Like so, like some of the stuff they've been stealing has been going on for a long time.
You know what? I'm uninstalling now.
Yeah, piss it off.
Everybody in chat, please join me as I unceremoniously boot Streamlabs to the next century.
Yep. And look, it's
fair.
They
learn some friggin' manners.
It's fair. Look, here's the thing: is that I have been talking about it, and I'm going to do it too. I've said it live. I'm going to provide you guys with some, videos on how to set up OBS, because at the end of the day, I know some people don't know how to do it. Let me tell you though that once you start using it, it's exactly the same. Like there are a couple of bells and whistles you don't have, but there are so many more you do have. Case in point. I can do this and that and that. Those move functions, that's a plugin. The way that Streamlabs does it is completely different. The music playing is so much easier here. It actually gets super, super, super easy once you get into it. And yes, another big part of it is that Streamlabs is a tremendous hog. Like it is a huge hog for resources. You will have so much more time for activities, like so much more.
I just love the idea of OBS being something you can build to be exactly what you need, rather than it's got all this crap that you don't.
Look, don't get me wrong, OBS looks like shit. Like to look at it from a screen point of view, to see how it is, it looks like a garbage. But at the end of the day, like to look at the difference between this and Streamlabs it's pretty negligible. Like if I go here and I open this one up again, even though you'll see a bunch of me repeating here, you have pretty much the same things as you would. You've got a section for your scenes here in my head's covering, but where that is the scenes. You've got your sources here. It all works the same. You've got a nice little audio section, a scene transition section. I actually don't have it on right now, but you also usually have a because when I'm on Goa, it doesn't allow me to show it, but on normal my normal Twitch account, it'll show, enter your title, enter what game you're playing, all that kind of stuff in a little window here as well. And then, you have your activity feed. This is OBS Live. So this is the difference between normal OBS and OBS Live. On OBS Live, you'd have things like an activity feed. And so for here, I can reload overlays. I can replay anything that actually happens, so if someone resubscribes, I can click that if I've missed it for whatever reason, and they'll do it again. It's pretty damn easy to get around and understand how it works. And over here we have the music playing, which is just a royalty-free music playing on this side here. But as far as it goes, there's not much different at all. There's not much different. It is pretty much just the same, except it is boring as shit gunmetal gray. That's honestly practically the only difference. It doesn't have a bunch of confusing shit on the left-hand side either. Those little options, I can't figure them out. The icon bar is bullshit. I hate it. I could never figure it out.
It's stuff it's half of the stuff that you don't ever use and won't ever click on. And if it's using up resources on your PC, don't use it.
Well, some of it's Prime anyway, isn't it?
We just need to have classes with Shippy.
Yes.
OBS classes with Shippy.
I would do that on stream if I thought there was going to be a avenue for it. If it was going to be useful for people. But I think YouTube for that will be the way to go. Just to say,
I agree.
You want to use this better, you do the hey, would you like to use OBS better? Stick around and find out how. And then it plays some cool thing. It's does this thing.
Oh, you need to have a you got
something
it.
Like that. There you go.
Yeah.
But it's the thing is that when it was just me complaining, it makes sense. You know, when it was just me saying, "Hey, this is why I don't like Streamlabs," that's fine. But when it is literally everybody that has a problem with it, that's when you know something's going on.
As you said as well, like Mr. Harris, who is an industry leader, when he is speaking out against something, you know there's a problem and it needs to be addressed.
Exactly right. No, exactly right. So it's like because like Harris Heller, obviously reputation wise, doesn't want to come and throw that stuff. You know, like he doesn't want to throw shade regardless because you have to protect yourself and your brand. But when even someone like that comes out and says that, you know something's wrong. So the chat's giving me shit because I played the right intro the first time. Because usually on my channel, the mods play the wrong intro all the time. You know, I'll be sitting here and I'll be like, okay, welcome into the new people. Now roll the intro. And then that'll happen, and I'll be like, no, that's not the right intro at all. Why would you do that? But yeah, so no, not my fault this time. Not my fault this time. The mods aren't here to make it bad. But yeah, so like that's essentially the Streamlabs controversy. What do you guys think about it? Is it something that are you happy with it? Do you know, I'm not like at all, obviously, but like, will you continue to use Streamlabs OBS? That's a question for like, you know, everybody, you know, and that's a question for the internet is that are you going to allow them to get away with this? And yeah, I just personally don't think anyone should.
I agree. And 100% what you were saying, right? In the industry of content creation, if you think it's okay to steal somebody else's stuff and copyright it, then you have no integrity.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get mad when someone else steals all of your stuff. You know what I mean? Like you can't get mad when someone takes your ideas for my cool little memes. You know, don't play that one. No, stop it. This goes too long. This one goes for too. God damn it! Now that's what happens too because this is attached to my account. Max Mofo, please stop it. Okay, swear it's fine. But no. Like the thing is, like you can't get mad with people for stealing like that kind of content. You know what I mean? Like you can't. Like
everybody do the flop.
You have to paint them with the same brush that you get yourself painted with. So you know,
for sure. And I think as well, if we're looking at an industry being supported by people that have the same values as us, we should be supporting companies that display those things. So Streamlabs gets big thumbs down.
Yeah. And so that's the thing too, because, you know, like so many of my mates talk about it, you know, like they talk about how they used to use it. And I'd always be like, but why? And they're like, oh, because I like it more. And now I hope that the conversation will change, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
1000%. Because you know what we're going to do? Any industry we meet up, we'll be like, hi, my name's Natalie. Do you use Streamlabs or OBS? And if they say Streamlabs, you just keep walking.
You just walk away. Let's see. You just get out your classic butterfly knife and you just... It's a USB. It's okay. But... you know, like you want to you don't none of my friends use OBS slobs now. None of my friends use it now.
We need a T-shirt, don't we?
We do. None of
I
could do that
if you use slobs.
I'm gonna make that. I think.
All right. I need 20% royalties.
Yep. Easy peasy. But yeah, so I mean, we can transition pretty closely from where we were at, but essentially, as far as things go, that to me, that's the book closed on Streamlabs OBS. Like, I don't foresee it being a thing in the future. I'm assuming that sort of within the next sort of month or so, it'll probably change to just Streamlabs. Like, it'll probably just become Streamlabs, like a broadcasting software or something like that. You know, like because it's going to be close enough to the name. And yeah, it is plug and play. Like that's one last thing to take into consideration as well. The whole thing is plug and play, and that's why it's been appealing for. But now I think we'll find that everyone will slowly but surely migrate away from it, and those who don't care or whatever, they'll use it. But we've seen what happens when the streaming community gets behind something as well. Like with Mixer, we saw what happened when that was lost. Like that was a big loss. Or with what's the one with what was it called? The one that was going to show up after in between Brime. Like, we saw with Brian, like when Brian failed, the amount of shit talk that happened with it, like it could never have launched because it was gonna launch, and we're gonna launch, we promise. We're gonna launch today, I promise. And then all of a sudden it didn't do it. And then it was just like, nah. Internet doing its thing.
I have been waiting for a Twitch competitor to pop up after some of their source code got leaked.
Yeah.
Because, the biggest thing with Twitch is that they know how to manage all this stuff on a really low bandwidth.
Yeah.
And that code got leaked. So I've been waiting. I've been sitting on it. Maybe for Christmas we'll get a Twitch 2.0.
I think the Red brand is going to step up, honestly. Like, I think that it's going to be YouTube stepping up and doing its thing, because at the end of the day, like, it's already starting to make those moves.
Yeah.
But
so you have no faith in the metaverse?
Once they plug me in and I can live inside a digital world forever, then I'll have faith. But until then, we're just going to wait and see how it goes.
Okay. Oh, you're Ready Player One, and then we'll be off.
When we get to Ready Player One, I'm happy to believe in them. But for now, they're just Facebook with a different name. But speaking of Facebook, one thing that I struggle with quite a bit is scrolling things like Facebook and Instagram and Discord particularly, and streams. I watch a lot of them very, very late into the evening. I believe you've got some stuff to talk about as it relates to streamer tiredness.
Yeah, I do. So this came up for me recently because, there's a lot of streamer burnout that you see popping up. There's a lot of streamers just being exhausted all the time. They come on stream and they're drinking Pepsi and they're drinking Red Bull and they're drinking whatever to keep themselves up for 10, 12, 24-hour streams. And it's chronic in our industry. Absolutely chronic.
I mean, it doesn't help when we're it doesn't help when we're drinking branded drinks or gamer energy drinks. I couldn't find my gamer subs anywhere. But it doesn't help when
I got this one by my desk.
Yeah.
But Quantum's good because it's low caffeine. Still has caffeine. It's only got like half a cup of coffee in it.
Yeah.
But really what I just wanted to talk about was a few simple things people can do. They're not necessarily things that everybody's going to want to do, and it's up to people if they want to take that on board or not. But I kind of, especially with caffeine, just want to talk about the underlying mechanisms with how that works.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a chemistry kind of lesson here. But I do have a really cute little picture that I should have sent to you already.
Well, if you can put it on your screen, I can do a thing.
Whoa, you can do a thing?
Actually, no, it won't work within your screen.
No, let me just
You'll need to send it across.
Send you this beautiful thing. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Go save image. Sorry, you can continue talking. Sorry, while I do that.
So, but going back to biology 101. Everybody kind of knows that sunlight plays a bit of a role with us staying up. Everybody knows that our bodies are designed to stay awake for a certain amount of time and sleep for a certain amount of time. So even Flavor's there. Modern until 3 a.m, hopped on here at 5 a.m, 2 hours of sleep. That's just crazy. But we all do it, right? We all do it.
Whenever I'm on, that's the problem.
Stream, I get addicted to a game and I'm up until 4 o'clock in the morning because it's fun and I don't want to go to bed because it means I wake up and have to go to work. Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
One of the major things we do when we're tired is have caffeine, right? So you might have had a bad night and you're like, I'm so tired. So our chappie, Mr. Adenosine on the side here, he is they call a metabolite, so a byproduct of our brain working. So when your brain is firing, when we're thinking, we're using all that energy, it throws off adenosine. And over the day, adenosine will build up into your system and bind to receptors that will be a trigger for your body that it's time to go to bed. So if you're starting to get sleepy at 5 o'clock in the morning because you were up all night the day before, or you've had a crying baby all night, or whatever it might be, you reach for the caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll notice the two highlighted parts on there, the pink bits where
Yep.
we've got those four ends on
Yep.
both of the chemical structures. What that means is that the caffeine will actually bind to the same parts as the adenosine. And so it blocks the adenosine going in there and making us tired.
Okay.
Right. I
Right.
hope I'm not losing
No,
anybody here.
I'm across this here.
We need some more caffeine.
I need a caffeine.
So really what we're doing there is we're saying, okay, caffeine, go in, stop that adenosine from making us feel tired. The adenosine's still floating around in your system though, right? It's not going anywhere. And when that caffeine starts to wear off 3, 4, 5 hours later, what you get is this tsunami of all of the built up adenosine in your system and you crash. So especially if you're this person that rolls on caffeine, so you have a coffee at 8 o'clock and you have another coffee at midday and another coffee at 4 and another coffee at 8 and then a Red Bull at 10 and you can see the cumulative effects there. It just builds up in your system. So when you finally cut the caffeine about 4 or 5 hours later and have that crash, you're looking for something to stop it. So long and short of that is try to have less caffeine. Because nobody's going to be happy with this message.
I mean, I don't really drink coffee. Like, I know it's like a bad shippy, but I don't really drink coffee. The only thing that I do is have, one of those gamer drinks. I typically have that before I start streaming. But because I stream so late, it still ends up causing me a bit of a heck and concern by the time it's time to go to sleep. But if I don't do that, sometimes I have trouble. So, speaking of trouble, look who it is. Hello there, Lukey Bangerz. Welcome in.
Big brain. I've got to make up for the lack of big beard.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. I was very disappointed that there was no beard when Natty decided to come and take over. But yeah, no, honestly, I'm the same. When it comes to like coffee's not a big issue, but I can definitely get through a whole bunch of like gamer subs, G Fuel, whatever the case may be, what I've got available whilst I'm streaming, because you get to a point where you're like, I'm exhausted, but I've got to stream. I've had a really long day, but I've got to stream. I've been at the gym and then I've gone from the gym to home and I've dealt with home stuff and then we're here. Like I try not to have heaps, but you end up having a bit too much. I'm just not a coffee guy, so at least I can hold that on myself there. So
I was going to say, and it sounds like you're doing relatively well because you don't have that build up over the day too. If you're leaving your caffeine until just before stream, it's not ideal for your sleep, but it's better.
How does this relate to anxiety then? Because I don't go to sleep and worry about being awake. I go to sleep and worry about money and life and finances, and then I'm awake till 5.
Yeah, so honestly, what they did this study, right, where they had a control group where they did nothing. They had one group where they managed their caffeine, and they had one group where they did nothing but write a journal at night. So the whole purpose of this journal was to write down all your worries, and the intention is that you've written them down in the book. It's not like you're going to forget about them. They're all going to be there in the morning, so you can just let it out of your brain and then go to sleep. What they found was that this group that did the journaling had 50% better quality, measurable quality, and sleep time compared to the other groups.
Yeah, okay.
So you don't need, to cut your caffeine. I mean, I know a lot of people drink alcohol as well, which I'm not going to get into tonight, but that can cause another problem too. But anxiety is the biggest thing, especially for people that wake up in the middle of the night and they look at their phone and go, oh my God, I have to get up in 2 hours, and then start worrying about their day ahead. That's another big thing that we want to try and cut out. So if you can do your lovely before bed journaling, which I know sounds so faffy and new agey and like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it really does. It's studied. It really works. Just do it. It's easier than cutting coffee.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, like for me, I've never had a problem with anything. Like addictions have never caused a problem for me at all. I'm one of those kind of guys that when I had my neck surgery and I had my injury, the doctor actually told me to go find some illicit material, and he was like, "You should get around this because I can't give you any, but it will help." Because I was on 450 grams of tramadol a day at one point there, and I was coughing up
Wow.
blood and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, "This is very bad for you. I can't tell you to go get it, but if you know anyone who go do it."
Wow.
And then literally the day of my surgery, I stopped it and I never touched it again. So
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with like addictive nature. I enjoy a drink on stream because it's like, you know, hey, we're having fun, get on the beers, get on the beers,
on the
Dan
beers.
Andrews, beers. Bunch of these ones, like, you know, I'm pretty. We have a fun time, you know. And I'm not saying you can't have fun without alcohol because you absolutely can. But it's kind of a bit of a meme almost within the channel that we get around that stuff and you know have fun.
Oh, and it's part of Australian culture as well.
Exactly right. I'm not going to, you know, there are a lot of times where, you know, to break the fourth wall, spoilers here, guys, where I just have water in a bottle of alcohol, or you know, like. Right,
No.
because at the end of the
We're
day, it's
talking
like,
about integrity in this industry.
yeah, I know,
Warship. Come on.
but I just don't want to drink some days, you know.
All the secrets out. Warship exposed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be careful. You're going to be the on Twitter, like hashtag trending tomorrow.
Honestly, please cancel me because at least I'll get noticed. At least there'll be some attention. But yeah, I know you knew this already. Shotgun. What are you talking about? But no, but like you know, it's just for me. It's more about the entertainment with the friends and having a good time than anything else. So show her a vortex. Do I even have a vortex? I'm not even sure. The vortex is stupid. Have you ever seen me do a vortex? Oh my goodness! Hang on. Do I have? You talk to them for a minute. I'll see if I.
I don't know why I am imagining some kind of beer funnel because you see the drink swirl in the top as you pour it down somebody's poor gullet.
Yeah, okay. I've never done this on stream. I've never done this on Streamaholics before, but
I feel bad. Are we making you drink when you didn't plan
no,
to?
it's okay. It's okay. I had an open one here. I won't do the whole thing, but
All right.
I won't do the whole bottle because I don't have enough for the whole bottle here. But all right, let's go here.
Is there like some kind of customary like chug?
There kind of is, but no, you don't need to say anything. But what we do is actually that's not enough room to show it. So what we do is it's traditional to lick the bottle. And then we do a thing and just watch the liquid in the bottle, right?
All right. We're watching. Ah!
And then it's gone. And that's what happens.
There you go.
Like, because it makes like a...
Yeah, whirly inside the
Yeah, because you spin it around and then it's done.
My brain keeps thinking whirlwind, and it's like, it's liquid, Natalie. Come on.
Yeah. The lick is the key to the vortex. It doesn't work without that, obviously. But yeah, like usually the chat will request like the Get on the Beers song, and then we'll have a bunch of these ones going on. And
nice.
But
nice.
No, I don't. Again, I'm not a huge drinker either. Like I'm a social drinker with friends because I've never wanted to be that kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like you know, it's not fun being that guy. I know when I've had enough to drink. I know I drank to excess a lot when I was a kid. You know, even before I was supposed to be drinking, I drank to excess. I think so.
Yeah, I made a few of those mistakes. I maybe vomited on my parents' lawn, and then every day for about 3 months until the lawn grew back because of the acid burns. Dad was just like frowning every time just walking past the patch, just like a dog when it's peed on the carpet.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, honestly, I'd have to say most of the mistakes I've ever made have been because I've drank too much. So, like,
wow.
Yeah. Like, because I'm pretty level-headed, you know. Even when I drink, though, that being said, it is very hard to tell. Like Shotgun and Flavor Fade, actually, probably both of them. I think maybe even Sorge would know. But there have been times where I have drunk over a bottle of alcohol on stream in 3 hours and no one's been able to tell. Like there have been times where I've drunk like a full bottle of Fireball or a liter bottle of vodka on stream and it just kept talking as if things have been normal. So like I can handle alcohol, like, you know, and I've never had a problem with that. So
That's like
Um,
me and my bar work days, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. They're like, "Here, have a pint glass of vodka." No. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And look, honestly, those times I haven't been in a great place for it. You know, like I've been stressed about streams or whatever the case may be. And I've been up and down lately, but there have been times where I've wanted to do it, but I've thought no, because I'm actually actively trying to get my body back to where it was. So, you
Yeah.
know, it's a lot
Yeah.
easier without the alcohol.
I totally agree. I mean, the biggest problem with alcohol is that I think a lot of people rely on it to get to sleep, and exactly
Yeah.
what you were talking about before with the anxiety. Like, I'm trying to shut my brain off, so I'm
Yeah.
going to have a couple drinks, and then it'll help me sleep. But the really bad thing about that is that it really impacts your quality of sleep. So you'll
Yeah.
still get your 8 or 10 hours or however much you usually get,
Yeah.
but you don't have that drop in, drop out nice cycle that you have of
Yeah.
your deep sleep and then your dream sleep.
I mean, I noticed that with this when because it tells me when my sleep is good sleep and when it's bad sleep. And if I'm
Yeah.
drinking, it does these
Yeah,
ones.
exactly. Yeah. So you basically you get to that fidgety state all the time. So you're
Yeah.
in that REM sleep, which is your dream state, which, it's good for some things. Your body peaks its testosterone during your REM sleep. So it's important to have that, but not all the time because it doesn't work that way.
You just told me that we get more testosterone if I drink lots. So now I know what that's what you that's the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah. If you don't have your deep sleep, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's the same in deep sleep. Your body pushes out hormones to regulate your blood pressure.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that are on blood pressure medications, if you fix their sleep, they can come off their blood pressure meds.
Okay. So
It's nuts.
What you're telling me
nuts.
then is that
Yeah.
if I take blood pressure medicine, I could just drink, have really high testosterone, and be fine.
Yeah. Hashtag not a doctor.
I'm probably not going to do any of this, and I don't suggest anyone does any of this because that all sounds very incorrect.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot to learn with sleep science, but we do, know a few things quite distinctly now.
Yeah.
Alcohol's not great if you're having trouble. Caffeine's not great if you're having trouble.
Yeah.
And anxiety is the killer. So if you can do anything to help your anxiety that isn't drinking or caffeine.
Yeah, that's the way to be. And for me, I've spent a lot of time being anxious, particularly since I started streaming. A lot of time being anxious because you worry about everything. I spoke about this before heaps. Lukey and I spoke about it heaps as well, where, it's like every day is difficult because if you don't have the amount of people who are there that you want there, or if you don't get enough subscriptions that you need to get through the day, to get through the month, if it's your full-time job, like it is for me, it's even more stress. Sometimes it's just being the stress of being on camera because you're one of those people who isn't good in front of camera, public speaking and all that kind of stuff. Then you get these absolute stupid wits who come in and they might be trolls, and that's another stress, and all of a sudden this thing that's maybe one or two things that's stressful about streaming becomes like 20. And then, you don't stop thinking about it when you get off stream because you're already worked up, and then you don't sleep, and then you have 2 hours sleep and the cycle repeats itself. And I did that for months, fairly recently. I've only just started to correct my sleep now, but it's not.
I mean, you've got
good.
a family and everything to manage as well, don't you? So that's like an added complication.
So I would legit go to bed by like 4 or 5 and wake up by 7 to do school run. It's not great. It's difficult, and you do get really anxious. Everyone always talks about how streaming must be easy, and all you do is stand in front of a microphone and talk. And it is and no wonder people turn to drugs and alcohol to get themselves through. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I think one of the worst things about streaming is it takes something that's creative and what I call qualitative. It's about how you make people feel and the energy, and it boils it down to numbers. And ideally, at the end of the day, those numbers aren't completely in your control. You can kind of steer it, but if it's 1 or 10, it might not be in your control. And that causes anxiety, absolutely, when things are outside of your control.
Oh, absolutely. And you spend
a lot of time thinking about it. Like for me in particular, because it is my job, like if I don't hit above a certain amount, let's just say 1,000 subs, right? If I don't hit there, that's a safe area. I haven't hit there in a long while. But sort of anything above 500 is usually manageable. But if it's below that, my family struggles to eat food properly. You know, like it's always going to be my family comes first and they get all the stuff, and then I will approach it second. But like, our quality of life changes when we don't have a good month. And because Twitch has been a little bit garbage lately, not for anyone who's been supporting, but for the people who haven't been there for whatever reason, we've seen quite a big downturn in the last month for almost all creators have seen quite a large downturn lately. And it's because the world's getting back to normal and, people are scared and Christmas is coming and all that kind of stuff. With all those other subjects we spoke about recently with hate raids and all of that, the platform itself has suffered a little bit, and that obviously makes it harder. We have those same stresses. We have the same stress about Christmas, and we have the same stress about hate trolls, but it's not like traditional entertainment where you get paid because you're good at it.
It's not a salary.
No, you get paid. I'm good at this, but I don't get paid because I'm good at this. I get paid because people are generous and amazing, and I couldn't survive without them. Whereas with traditional media, you get paid because you're good at your job. There are so many creators that I know who are better than the best people on the platform, have better understanding of the way OBS works, have a better understanding of their community, are in touch with their people. How often do you get the low energy streamer who sits there and does nothing, and they get paid more than everyone else? They sit here like this doing bugger all. They're just sitting here, they're not even talking to their chat. And subscriptions come through left, right, and center, and they are the ones who have this huge following, have this huge amount of money come through. Whereas you get people who are connected to the community, who actually care about each other and work together, and those ones are the ones that suffer through it. So it's like, there are a lot of reasons to be anxious about streaming. There are a lot of reasons to be frustrated. And no wonder people turn to caffeine. No wonder people turn to alcohol. No wonder people turn to drugs. Like it absolutely makes sense. But it's a tough world out there for us, and we've got to stick together with it. And that kind of coincides with the previous point with Streamlabs. Is that these people, they're kind of spitting on our community.
Yeah,
like
they don't care about creators because they're ripping them off.
Yeah. And then that's why people should stand up to it, like, honestly. And if I could just chatting stream all the time, I would. Like if I could sit there and just talk to my community instead of having like a crazy over-the-top stream, I would do that, to go back to that other point there about people who have like a huge audience and don't talk at all. Like, I find those streams impossible to watch, personally. Like, anytime there's someone just sitting there playing a game and talking to their friends on headset, I find it difficult. I am much more in tune with my audience, and I know so many people who are like that too, who deserve to get that recognition.
Yeah.
Oh
boy.
Yeah, it was a pretty heavy section of conversation there, but
that was. You know what can perk us up a little bit?
What? Some coffee?
Sales.
Oh, sales. Oh,
sales.
We love sales.
Black Friday sales are coming, my man.
They are.
Yeah.
I've never had the money to buy things during a Black Friday sale.
Oh my God. This is the problem, right? Like this time of year as well, because there is naturally a downturn at this time of year for streaming, and then you've got all these other stacked things going on as well.
Yeah.
But I guess if anybody is looking for kit, looking to upgrade some of their gear, this time of year is a good time to be looking.
Yeah.
And so there is just a couple of things that have come up just through my feeds that I thought would be worth letting people know about if they do have the dollars to spend. And I'm going to start with probably one of the less exciting ones.
Yeah.
Which is bows. So, bows?
Yeah, I know bows, yeah.
So their refurbished stuff is going to be between 30 to 40% off
for
Black Friday sales. And they've already got some of it discounted already.
Yep.
So if you're looking for some really good noise cancelling headphones, speaker systems, go and check them out. Bose and just look at their Black Friday
But the
page.
outlet page, yeah. Look at the
Um,
specific section for Black Friday.
There's a Christmas offers tab,
Yeah,
which
okay.
is
Yeah, cool.
in a similar spot.
Yeah, cool.
So another thing that somebody was chatting to me about the other day was they needed to get a streaming PC. They already had their regular PC, but they needed to get their second PC, and we're having a chat about whether you could use a laptop for that.
Yep.
Because a lot of people physically don't have the space for another streaming PC. I don't
Yep.
know what your setup is like there. Do you run everything off the one kit?
I actually need a laptop for my second setup. So I want a dual PC my streams because I want to run OBS through just the laptop and then run everything else through the PC. But I simply can't afford it, which is why I've been trying to get someone from one of these places to sponsor me for ages.
Well, we're talking about Dell and Lenovo. So if there's anybody out there from Dell or Lenovo, we are pumping up your brands. Maybe throw Stippy some love here. So Dell are having Black Friday sales as well, and they're doing between 30 and 45% off. For their devices. So again, you're looking at like a higher price point there. The cheapest end that they've got on sale is the Inspiron 3000 laptop. Which is normally 1,500. It's down to 1,000.
Yeah, wow, that's a huge.
So
difference.
it's still a lot of dollars to be putting out there, but if it's one of those things that if you've been saving for it already, then now's the time.
Now's the time. Yeah, very cool. I think that would be useful.
Yeah, sorry. Last two.
Right. Go for it.
Lenovo on eBay, 20% off.
Yep.
If you go to their eBay site, they've got the code there. All good to go. And Secret Lab.
Yep.
If you've got billions of dollars to spend on a gaming chair, you can get $100 off. So it'll just be millions of dollars.
Oh my God. Yeah, honestly, Secret Labs is amazing quality chairs. I don't have one. Secret Labs.
No. I have
one.
this lovely trusty office chair from Officeworks.
I don't have one, Secret Labs, but I'd like one. But yeah, like that, the Minecraft Secret Labs chair, amazing. I would use that instantly for all the Minecraft I play. There's a really, really cool one. It's a creeper, and it's just like bright green, and it's really cool. And for all the Minecraft I play on stream, it would be amazing. But yeah. I'm going to add that to my throne gifts, I think, which is something that I just got given a partner link for the other day.
Excellent. So that's nearly set up now? Or
it is nearly set up. Yeah, well, it is ready to go. Like, it's officially ready to go. I think it's like throne.com/the Warship or something like that. But, like, it allows you to anonymously get gifts. So, like, it's one of the things that's really cool about that for creators is like, I've got my one of my stream memes, Seduction. It's like a girl shippy. She looks very pretty. She's this one. With this here, this is very nice, right?
Girl shippy.
With that, like
bath water, man.
Right, that's the goal. One day, bean water, maybe from baked beans. But on my throne gifts there, I actually have like a wig and a choker and all that stuff. I have a bunch of baby clothes, like Dragon Ball Z baby clothes and stuff like that. But it's all anonymous, and that's really cool. Like for me, because it allows, even though I don't care too much about people knowing my address, I have a PO box anyway. But that kind of allows me to cancel a PO box in a lot of ways, because instead of having to pay like $160 for a PO box, this is all privately done. Like it goes through like a private ended side of it. They do all the purchasing for you. None of that information ever goes back to the people that are buying it. And yeah, that's really cool. I don't know why I got to talking about that. I think it was just because of the whole Black Friday thing.
Yes. No, that's fine. That was very perfectly segued. It was fine.
I look at those sort of situations, and for me, it's like there are so many ways that people gouge their community that I hate, like Patreon. I think that if I didn't have a subscription base on my Twitch, like if I took away my affiliate, I'd run something like a Patreon, because then you can still get paid. But
it's like some creators I know have a Patreon, they have their Twitch subs, they have their OnlyFans, they have a gifting service, and it's like, how much money do you think these people have? Like, god damn. Like,
You never know. One day you might just end up with a whale in your community, and if they want to give to you, man, just
Yeah.
don't say
Oh,
no.
and coffee as well. That's another one. Like, it's no.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've definitely had situations like that in the past. I had a friend who came in, who got in very early on Bitcoin, and he came in one time and dropped 200,000 subs, or 200,000 bits in the space of a month,
Wow.
just for no reason, just for no reason. So I've experienced that before.
No reason.
Yeah, out of support, absolutely. It
Yeah.
allowed me to buy this camera. But yeah, like it was just silly. Like, but yeah, I just don't understand how people can, you know, there's like coffee, there's the donate button on the thing, there's Twitch subs, there's biddies, there's Patreon, the GoFundMe. It's like there's just so many different things that people use to try to get money. Whereas the reality is you're just a good person instead. Like, people will support you. Like, you know, like if you're just a good person, people get around you.
Like, well, kind of what we were talking about with the Streamlabs OBS thing, right?
Yeah.
People use it because it's easy. If you don't give people easy ways to support you, if it's too many steps,
Yeah.
that is one barrier to them that might slow them down.
Yeah.
So I think give the people as many avenues as you can, as long as they don't cost you money.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense too. There are a lot of people, I suppose, who might not have the facility to do one, but they can do the other. You know, like they may not be able to do a Patreon, but they can donate, or they can, you know, like, so you give people the option to. But at the same time, it feels very dirty. You know, like it always has felt dirty for me. That's why I've never done a subathon. Like, I've never done a subathon, and I'd like to, but I feel like I'd just be like begging for money on stream, and it already feels enough like that when people subscribe.
That's interesting. So you don't feel like you're taking advantage of people or anything like that. You just feel like you don't deserve it.
I mean,
sorry, psycho unlight here.
There may be, I know we've into that psychology side of things now.
Yeah.
Maybe I feel like I don't deserve it, you know. And that being said, there's so many people in my community who will just yell at me for that and tell me that all I do is help them, like, and all I do is keep them safe and keep their brains safe and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, no, I don't want these people to suffer, even though I may suffer for, you know, even though my month may be horrible, even though, because this month was horrible for me, like, but even though I might have a bad month or a bad 2 months or whatever, maybe whatever the case may be, I still don't want people to feel like they have to do things for me. You know what I mean? Like, even to the point where they don't have to be in the fucking stream. I don't even censor that one. Like even though, you know, even to the point where like they don't even have to be in the stream. You know, like I get. Yeah, I don't want people to starve themselves to feed me. That's a big way. And I'm totally on board with that too. And I know people, if they have the means, they'll do it. And I appreciate those people so much. But I know that I provide, like, you know, 20 hours of entertainment a week or whatever it is, 30 hours of entertainment a week. And people are there from start to finish. And if they are, bang on, awesome, then maybe I deserve it. But then when you see like a dip in your community, you know, somehow there are less people watching, you're like, okay, well, maybe I don't actually deserve it, and maybe I was right all along. You know, and then that hits your brain too.
Fucking imposter syndrome.
Yeah, it hits hard. It hits hard, and streaming is one of the biggest places for it. Like, honestly, even someone like me who is considered to be like, it's from a statistics point of view, I think I'm in the top 9% of creators. Like, I think like I think that's actually even less. I think it's far less from my memory. So last time I checked, there were only 900,000 creators who had a bigger viewership than me out of the 9 million or whatever it is that are on the platform. But for me, it's like, but what does that mean for me? You know, well, you know, you get in your brain, top 6, that's it, Bestia, thank you. Yeah, like your brain goes and it's like, okay, so like, I just don't get, like, you know, do I deserve it? Why do I deserve it? What have I done? You know, like, and I know a lot of creators are the same. A lot of creators, they're exactly the same. And I think that if you don't feel that way, it helps.
I don't know if you know, there's a comedian called Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
And he like started on YouTube really early. He just put a video on YouTube to send to his brother because he was in another state, and it just blew up, right?
Yeah.
So he had this overnight success, and he released this song called Art is Dead,
Yeah.
where it's basically talking about imposter syndrome, and he gets paid to go stand up on stage and yell, and people find it entertaining and whatever else. But there's other people out there that don't even have food on the table. Why do I get money?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you know, why am I deserving of this?
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely among the creative industries a common thing.
Well,
But
I look at all of my friends who may be just as good creators as me, but they don't get the same followers, they don't get the same numbers. And I'm like, well, why
yeah,
do I get it? You know, I work hard, don't get me wrong. I work really,
yeah,
really hard. But your brain doesn't let you think that way. Your brain says, well, why do you deserve it? You know, like, and that's just how it is. Like,
yeah, it's a challenge every day for
and like,
sure. I get that even working in a traditional industry.
yeah,
You know, I go, oh man, I'm not slogging away working as a garbo or doing road work
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
I've got a nice, cushy office job and I'm earning a nice amount of money.
yeah.
Why is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, I look at myself at the same thing. It's like, you know, I'm not working in plastering or whatever building. You know, I'm sitting in
Mm,
front of a computer 3-4 hours a night and I'm making enough to feed my family. Like, you know, like, but that's not how you rationalize it in your brain. You know, at the end of the day, you still say, well, what about, well, how come I deserve it? And like, one of the reasons I brought this up outside of it probably leaking out of my real life is the fact that
mm,
it's important to know that no matter where you sit on that ladder, on that chain, on that pyramid, whatever you want to call it, chances are you still feel that way a little bit, you know?
yeah,
And you know, you're never alone with this stuff. And if you ever want to talk about it, my DMs are always open. You know, I'm always here for people. And maybe that also leads into it too, because I am always there for people. So I always hear their stories, and my stream is very much a community-based mental health kind of deal. People
yeah,
always come in, tell me their problems, and maybe that's part of it. You know,
yeah,
maybe knowing what people are going through is part of makes it hard to
yeah.
allow happiness and success to pop through.
I
Um,
I think that you underestimate your value
yeah, and look,
to
I understand,
multiple communities.
and I honestly understand, and to be honest with you, I agree with you. But then there's something in my brain that just says,
Nah,
you didn't say the
you
magic
can't
word.
have happiness. What is
Yeah,
this?
no, exactly right. And I think that comes from wrestling too, because in wrestling it was all about the right people getting the wrong people getting the right opportunities because of who they know.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
could be the
yeah,
best that there was, just like here on the platform, but you won't get the recognition because you don't know the right person. You know, like
yeah,
you're not the friends with the promoter, you know, or whatever the case may be. So
yeah,
yeah, that
yeah,
that was
yeah.
not a very good end to an already very aggressive stream.
Look, I think we've had a wonderful up and down,
Yeah.
and we've attacked all of our coping mechanisms to deal with all this stress as well. It's been great.
We need a positive topic here. Did we check? I checked the Goa Legends. Do you want to explain the Goa Legends while I have a quick look?
Oh, yes, sorry. There is a membership program with Goa. You're more than welcome to join, but part of that is that you have a super special secret chat room in our Discord channel, which will let you interact with our streams on a different level. So, for example, tonight the Warship chucked a question in there to get some feedback from our lovely members to see if they had any questions for the
Yeah,
stream tonight.
yeah, and they
And
did
I'm
not.
wondering, and they
Um,
look, there is something really positive about of all of this, which is we are alive and we can do better every day, and it's not about our internal value because
yeah,
that will always feel like it's fluctuating, but sometimes we need to listen to those external voices.
yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. Does anyone have anything they'd like to ask within the live chat here, as it relates to the Streamlabs things, as it relates to anything we've spoke about tonight? We're definitely more than welcome, more than happy to answer. You don't have to be a Goa member to do that at this point here. But if there is anything you'd like to speak about, please, please, please ask. We'll do our best to answer. Outside of that, though, we're pretty much good for the night. We've kind of covered over everything that I needed to speak about. We kind of spoke about all the things I wanted to cover today. Was there anything else that you wanted to cover?
No, I just wanted to say thank you, Shippy, for being part of this community. You're awesome, and I enjoy our chats very, very much.
Thank you very much too. Honestly, it's been great because we've had, a few different people come through and do the co-hosting duties for a bit here now. And the last few weeks, we haven't been able to have, any of the people on. So it's been really good to have you come through and do the couple of streams here for us. So
and we'll have to try and get that Lukey guy back.
Oh, yeah. We definitely have to get that Lukey guy back at some point. He might have to be the third host, though, at this point.
We can have a brain versus beard off.
I want to see who would win.
I don't even know how you compare a brain and a beard.
I mean,
size?
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, though, right, is that a lot of things could just be nullified. A lot of intelligent conversation. You'd be like, blah, 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 look at these chemical DNAs, and he's just like, yeah, but look.
But look at the beard.
And you're like,
oh,
okay.
It's a glorious ginger beard, too. You just can't beat that.
It's got this, superhero grey streak down it as well, which makes it very nice.
It's like Rogue, isn't it?
The
lightning grey streak.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. We're gonna find out he's secretly being a superhero instead of being on Streamaholics.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he is a superhero. He was one beforehand.
Yeah. He was, Radman's back in action.
Radman. We just don't know about it. Yeah, exactly right. All right. Well, then on that note, then Natty, where can we find you? Tell the people.
Natty WW everywhere, on Twitch, on Facebook, on Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. Natty WW. How about yourself, Shippy? Where can people find you?
Still everywhere but Twitter. You can find me at the Warship. Stupid Twitter. It doesn't give me my name, and I've been waiting for it for a long time. I can't. My name is really annoying. But yeah, everywhere else you can find me at the Warship. That's it. Very simple, very easy to do. And yeah, Twitch 5 nights a week. I am doing 1 night a week on YouTube at the moment as well, a live stream there. And we're about to bring a whole bunch of new secret content very, very soon. So worth keeping an eye on all of that. So we're about to drop some really, really cool stuff.
Amazing.
So yeah, looking forward to it and hope that you guys are as well. So we're going to find someone to send this off to before this time.
I'll have a look. Raid. Let's see who's on.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that today. If you have nobody, I could find people. We'll find who you've got.
I'm happy to go with your suggestion because I don't know any of these people on this list.
Alrighty. Well, you know what? Then let us go. Let us go and send some love. Let me just see who we've got. We like to go with the smaller amount of people so that they get like a bit of a moment there. So let's go and send it off to, where is it?
Oh, thank you very much, Flavor Fade.
Thank you very much there, Flavor Fade. I will send you a name on the thing. This guy here, he's one of my friends, also a Perth resident, and was a professional wrestler, still is a professional wrestler, sorry.
Heck yeah.
One of my good friends, his name is Solid Slate AUS, and he'll be playing some retro stuff because that's what he does, but he's playing Clock Tower. That was a game that scared the absolute piss out of me as a kid. I was terrified of a guy walking around with a giant pair of scissors constantly trying to murder you. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, guys. For me, for the Warship, for Natty W. I'm a Streamaholic. You're a Streamaholic. We're all Streamaholics. And we'll see you next time.
Good night.
Goodbye. Now push this button.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all of your support. You can do a little bit more though.
You can.
Hit us up on our YouTube. Drop us a subscribe. Is that how the cool kids say it?
Exactly right,
Smash
mate.
that subs button.
Smash that subs button!
And you get to enjoy more Goa content.
Do it.